Hi, how are you guys? This is Sam Casper with you guys here today, discussing pros and cons of being a vegetarian and being a meat eater. There are a lot of pros and cons on either or side of the story. There is a little bit more pros than cons on the vegetarian end than the meat eater's end. A healthier lifestyle starts with decision making, and the only decision maker that can possibly make that decision for him is your own self. There are a lot of pros, obviously, for being a vegetarian. You have better health. You could possibly have a chance, studies say, of living longer. And vegetarians tend to live about 30 pounds less than a meat eater. Meat eaters tend to have bad health in the long run due to the hormones and chemicals and steroids that are injected into their meat and chicken. A lot of hormones are injected into meat and chicken due to the meat market or the poachers' greed. Greed is brought into this as a subject because meat and chicken is steroidized and have hormones injected in it to make it a little bit more thicker. The thickness is provided for the value of the meat and chicken to rise and inflate because meat and chicken is sold on the weight and size of it. However, it is very unnatural for a human being to digest it, which causes a lot of diseases like heart failure and cancer. That is why today cancer and heart disease is at an all-time high due to the food that we consume. And I'm not saying vegetarians has no chemicals and hormones, but it is much easier to get vegetables that are organic from Kroger. Kroger even has their own aisle for organic fruits and non-organic fruits, but the organic fruits is a little more expensive, but you get for what you pay for it, obviously. However, just wanted to make it clear that meat eaters tend to run into more health problems in the long run, and I believe that it is very unsanitary to eat an animal because every animal serves a purpose. Should serve a purpose in our community. Chickens should not be poultry for our food needs because they are here to serve a purpose, and that purpose is to provide eggs, which is an organic and natural resource for humans today that we should and we are consuming every single day. Cows should not be poultry for our burgers and steak because they are here to make milk for us. And I could just keep going on and on, but you guys get the point. It is proven that vegetarians tend to live longer, which I might have brought that up already. I just wanted to make it more clear, and the reason why they live longer is because they're executing the risk of having any diseases. Therefore, they are living a much natural life than the meat eaters. They tend to live longer and weigh a little bit less, 30 pounds less or more than a meat eater. Meat eaters tend to weigh a little bit more because the food that they are consuming are not natural at all, and the hormones cannot be digested in a natural way like how a vegetarian is, because our bodies are obviously made to break down and digest organic foods, which the meat and chicken are not being provided organic anymore, which I personally did a lot of research about a few months ago, and or not a few months ago, about a year ago, and this is the facts that I was provided with that made my whole life change. My life, I believe that I am a little bit more healthy than how I was before. But there are a lot of pros and cons to both sides of the story, like how I've already brought up. The pros and cons for the meat and chicken is, meat and chicken I'm not saying is totally bad for you. The organic part in it, there is a little bit organic part in it that is unsterilized, obviously because they needed to start one way or another. Like if you're somebody like me that was planning on playing college football, meat and chicken was a big part of my diet for bulking up. But which the reason why you get bulked up off chicken is because it contains a lot of minerals, which if it is organic, but the steroids that are injected in it tend to make you a little bit bigger because it made the chicken a little bit bigger and you are digesting what the chicken is already digested. However, I'm just trying to make my point clear that being a vegetarian is a much better life choice that I personally made my own self, and a few family members made after seeing what change it made for me. And you know, you just got to be open-minded because in the long run, your own body and your own self will thank yourself later due to these choices that you provided for yourself. Nobody can make these choices other than you. You know, and there's nothing more organic than being a vegetarian. Vegetarians only consume fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. You know, and there's nothing more natural than organic foods. Vegetarians tend to be healthier because they are not consuming any you know, hormones, and you know, natural food is easier to be consumed and broken down and digested, which is a very big part in today's obesity. Obesity